what are the things I wish I had done if I was in your shoes, whether you're at 10K, 1K, 15K, whatever it is, and I was trying to scale up, I was trying to grow my business. What are the mistakes that I made that I would avoid? Let's go. You guys are probably gonna roll your eyes. You're probably gonna say, of course, of course, of course. But guys, this is the freaking truth. And there's a reason this is the first thing that came to my head. But literally the number one mistake I made is not prioritizing sales. You're like, oh yeah. Funny joke. Of course you're gonna say that. You love sales, all that stuff. Yeah, I do. When I bought the program, guys, I was in sales. I was doing door-to-door sales during the day. And at night, I was watching these trainings and building sites. For those of you that are like, I got a job. Yo, I had a job and it sucked. And I was still building sites. And I was in sales. And I'm telling you, the number one thing that I didn't do is I did not prioritize sales. I didn't have an internet background. I didn't have a technical background. I still don't. And so I got in and I thought, okay, I already know sales. I'm good at sales. I just need to perfect the process of getting a lead and then I'm gonna be good. That's like my thought, right? Which is so stupid because I did that. I spent, I don't know how long thinking I needed to master backlinks, thinking I needed to master content, thinking I needed to know every single detail of the damn site and the process before I could build a company. And I wasted a lot of time. So here's what I would do if I could go back speaking to that. When I say I didn't prioritize sales from day one, is I would go back and I would learn just enough to get a lead, just enough to feel confident to build a website, put up a GMB and get a lead in the door. And then I would go and I would focus on building my sales process before I would worry about having a perfectly tuned process of building the site. Why? You can hire anybody to do that part. If you can get the sales in the door, there are people lined up from here until October that are willing to take a fee to build you a website. There's services out there that do done for you type of websites. There are people that would take a small percentage to do that portion. What you can't hire, what is very, very, very difficult to master and to get dialed in is the sales part of this. If I could do this again and I could start from day one, I would, instead of focusing on, hey, I gotta know backlinking in and out, I gotta know citations in and out, I gotta know how to use SEMrush and Ahrefs and this and that and the rest, I would focus on getting my sales process so dialed in to where it's at right now. The back end I could have figured out 100 different ways and I could have paid people and I could have done all these different things. I would be so much further ahead. And right now, like I told you guys, I've been doing over 100K a month since July of 2020. We've had months where we've gone up to 125 and beyond. But guys, if I can't even imagine the amount of money I've lost by not focusing on that. So my plea to you is, if you are just getting into this, maybe you're just getting serious. You bought something or you've dabbled in the past and now you're like, hey, I'm in. Instead of focusing on making this perfect process of build out and stuff, and because this is what you guys are doing in your heads that are doing that. You're thinking, I'm gonna have this perfect streamlined process. So as soon as I get a sale, then it's gonna go to this person and then it's gonna go to this person. And then I'm gonna copy here and I'm gonna paste here and I'm gonna do this. And guys, I love that stuff. It's awesome. And it makes me excited too. But guess what? As soon as you get that, then you realize, oh, I gotta get some sales. I'm telling you to flip the script and get your process dialed in. Get your process so, hey, I do this. I call these people. I build this list. I target these niches. I set up these campaigns. I send these leads. That's what you guys should be focusing on way more than the other side. But you know what most of you guys are doing right now is you're gonna say in your heads is, first of all, you're scared to death. You guys are scared to make the calls. You guys are scared to do the sales because developing a process of fulfillment, that's the easy part. No one's coming at you. No one's yelling at you. You don't get the no's. You don't have to call anyone. None of that. So you guys are justifying in your head like, hey, I need to get this dialed in. And I did the same thing. I want to get this dialed in. I want to know it perfect before I go sell because
I don't want to get a client and then have them cancel. I don't want to get a client and not perform.
Who cares? If you guys sell the way I'm teaching you guys to sell in this group, you don't have to worry about that. Don't oversell and you're not going to have a problem, but quit using the excuse of all these little stupid things that you guys are spending your time on instead of making phone calls. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. There are people that have systems of fulfillment, building the website, ranking the website, doing the GMB, the whole deal, way more extravagant than me that aren't making jack shit. None compared to me. They have these beautiful systems, these beautiful fulfillment. I mean, it's a freaking work of art, but they can't bring sales in the door. You know what I have? I have a freaking money machine. And I could go hire 20 people today that would take a portion of the revenue and build all that shit out. I could go hire someone to come and do the system for me. Guys, sales solve a lot of problems. They don't solve all of them, but they solve a lot of problems. If you get enough sales, you can buy yourself a lot of time and you can solve a lot of problems. So number one thing that I did incorrectly incorrectly, which is funny to say because I'm Mr. Sales. I'm always sales, 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 sales. I was doing door-to-door sales, and what do? I go in to a new industry, local lead generation. The first thing I do is I freaking buy the same bullshit everyone else does, and I gotta have a perfect process instead of doing what I knew how to do, which is go and freaking sell.